Solving quadratic equations. There are different methods to solve quadratic equations. We can solve by graphing, taking the square root, factoring, completing the square, and by using the quadratic formula. Today we will learn to solve quadratic equations by completing the square. To begin with, I will show you an example of solving a quadratic equation by completing the square. Please just watch and listen. You start with your equation, and we're going to move the constant to the right side, leaving the quadratic term and the linear term on the left side. At this point, we're going to actually complete the square. We're going to calculate the number to add to the left side and the right side of this equation that will create a perfect square trinomial on the left side. So in this instance, the number is 9. So I add 9 to both sides of the equation. I now have created a perfect square trinomial by completing the square. I will then take that trinomial and write the corresponding binomial, x plus 3 squared. Now I can solve by taking the square root. I take the square root of the left side and the square root of the right side. And that leaves me x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus 2 square roots of 2. I then solve by subtracting 3 on both sides, and my solutions are negative 3 plus or minus 2 square roots of 2. And I like to separate them out. And then I put them in my calculator to check the answers. I'm checking to see that they truly are roots, zeros, solutions, or x-intercepts. And when I put them in the calculator will convert it to a decimal. So my solutions are approximately negative 0.17 and negative 5.83. So to begin this process, let's match some trinomials and binomials together in our head. And here are the trinomial with their corresponding binomials. So now just watch as I show you how we're going to learn to complete the square. When we complete the square, we need to know what C is. We need to determine C. And the way we're going to do that is look at B. We're going to take B, which in this case is 14. We're going to divide it by 2, which is 7, and we're going to square it. And that's going to give us C. So to complete the square, B divided by 2, square that number, and that will give you C. Let's try another one. Let's complete the square. Let's take B, negative 22, divided by 2 is negative 11. Square that number is 121. So we completed the square by taking B divided by 2, squaring it, and that equaled C. Get one more time. Let's take B, negative 18, divided by 2, which is negative 9. We square that number, and we get 81. So to complete the square, you take B, you divide it by 2, you square it, and that'll give you C. Once you've done that, you're going to have to write the corresponding binomial. So if you look here, when we've taken B and divided it by 2, that is the number that goes into the binomial. Here we took B and divided it by 2, and that was the number that went into the corresponding binomial. Here we took B and divided it by 2, and that was the number that went into the corresponding binomial. So let's find the value of C that completes the square, and then we're going to write the perfect square trinomial and binomial. Y squared plus 10y plus C. So we're going to take B, which is 10, divided by 2, which is 5, square it, and that's 25. So C is 25. Now to write the corresponding binomial, we take y, and then we can just take b divided by 2, so y plus 5 squared. So go ahead and try number 72. Try number 73. Try number 74. Skip 75 for now and do 76. Try number 77. Try number 78. Now try number 75.